The third spirit is hidden in a dark black cloak, all except one hand. Scrooge knows this is the ghost of Christmas yet to come, but the spirit does not talk or answer his questions except by pointing and nodding. Scrooge admits that this is the spirit he fears the most and follows it forward. They appear among the merchants in the city, where Scrooge would often do business. He listens to a group of businessmen talking about someone who has recently died. They don't care at all and will only go to his funeral if there's lunch. Scrooge sees another group discussing the same thing, except they barely mention it before moving on to talk about the weather. Scrooge doesn't see the relevance of these conversations and keeps looking for his future self. The spirit then takes him to Old Joe's, where stolen items are bought and sold. Two women and a man arrive, who then recognize each other. One is a cleaner, the other a laundress, and the man works for the undertaker. The cleaner and the laundress justify the fact they have all stolen from the same dead man by saying that they wouldn't have had the opportunity if he'd been kinder in life, because his body wouldn't have been left alone. They have stolen everything, including the shirt his body was supposed to be buried in. Scrooge is horrified and asks the ghost if his lesson is that he should be careful not to turn out like this man. He's taken to the dead man's room, but before he follows the spirit's instruction to look at his face, he begs to see someone who feels any emotion about the man's death. He's taken to a couple who are relieved about the death because they owed him money and now have time to get it. Scrooge asks to see any tenderness about any death and is taken to the Cratchit house. He immediately realizes that Tiny Tim has died. The family are waiting for Bob to come home, and they are trying not to cry. Bob returns and has chosen a burial plot for Tim. He breaks down in tears before going upstairs to kiss Tim. The room that Tim is laid in is brightly decorated for Christmas. When he returns downstairs, he talks about how kind Fred has been when he saw him in the street. The family talk about how they will always remember Tim and never fall out or quarrel. Scrooge is ready to find out who the dead man is. On the way, Scrooge passes his counting house and asks if he can see his future self. The spirit only points onward. They go to a churchyard and the spirit points at one of the graves. Before he looks, Scrooge asks if this future is already decided or whether he can change it. The spirit does not answer, and when Scrooge looks at the gravestone, he sees his own name. He cries out that he has changed and learned his lessons. He begs the spirit to tell him if he can alter this fate. The hand trembles, but no answer. Scrooge suddenly realizes the ghost is no longer there, and he is once more in bed.